asked, will I preserve and protect a woman's right to choose, I make an unequivocal answer. Yes.
Do I believe Supreme Court should overturn Roe v. Wade? Yes.
Mitt Romney has once again contradicted Mitt Romney. Romney sent his handlers into a panic today after this.
Rubio is being debated, I believe, later this week, that deals with banning or allowing employers to ban providing female contraception. Have you taken a position on that? He's said he was for that, and we'll talk about personhood in a second, but he's for that. Have you taken a position on that?
I'm not for the bill, but look.
Okay, that settles it. Couldn't be clearer. Mitt Romney is against the Blunt Amendment that the Senate plans to vote on tomorrow. The amendment that would allow employers to refuse to provide contraception or any other health care provision in a health insurance policy if they find it morally objectionable. Rick Santorum, of course, supports the Blunt Amendment. Jim Heath, that Ohio reporter you just saw who conducted that interview, rightfully believed he had a scoop and tweeted the news of Romney's position at 3:53 p.m. today. Within the hour, Romney's press secretary began the Romney reversal, releasing this statement. Regarding the Blunt bill, the way the question was asked was wicked confusing.
Rubio is being debated, I believe, later this week, that deals with banning or allowing employers to ban providing female contraception. Have you taken a position on that? He's said he was for that, and we'll talk about personhood in a second, but he's for that. Have you taken a position on that?
I'm not for the bill.
Governor Romney supports the Blunt bill because he believes in a conscience exemption in health care for religious institutions and people of faith. Romney then retreated to the familiar platform of Howie Carr's hugely popular Boston radio show to recite his new talking points, beginning with the lie that he didn't understand the question.
I didn't understand his question. Of course I support the Blunt Amendment. I thought he was talking about some state law that prevented people from getting contraception. I thought it was some Ohio legislation where employers were prevented from providing contraceptives. And so I talked about contraceptives and so forth, so I really misunderstood the question.
The Rick Santorum campaign responded with this statement by National Communications Director Hogan Gidley. You can take the guy out of Massachusetts, but you can't take the Massachusetts out of the guy. And the Obama campaign responded with this statement by Deputy Campaign Manager Stephanie Cutter. In 1 hour, Mitt Romney showed why women don't trust him for 1 minute. It took little more than an hour for him to commit his latest flip-flop. Even worse, he ended up on the wrong side of an issue of critical importance to women. While Mitt Romney may be in a race to the bottom with Rick Santorum to see who can pander most to the far right wing, his embrace of extreme policies like the Blunt Amendment would have real-life consequences for millions of women.
I believe that since Roe v. Wade has been the law for 20 years, that we should sustain and support it. And I sustain and support that law and the right of a woman to make that choice.
As a pro-life Republican, I'm in favor of having the Supreme Court overturn Roe v. Wade.
I think people understand that I'm a man of steadiness and constancy.